An illuminating look back at the show that won our hearts, The Gold Rush. At the time that Discovery's Gold Rush premiered, Channel in 2010, Fuku foresaw the changes it would bring to reality TV and its dedicated viewers. What began as a risk for the network and the motley crew of miners eventually became one of the most iconic and compelling reality television shows of all time. The show Gold Rush is more than just about finding gold. It's also about family, second chances, dream dashed, and the never-ending fight to make dirt into riches. Gold Rush is really about individuals. Those who put themselves in harm's way. Houses, weddings, and life savings for a chance at something that might alter their course indefinitely. In the beginning, the seasons tracked Todd Hoffman's and the Greenhorn miners' journey to Alaska, where they were armed with borrowed gear and an optimistic goal. In other words, they weren't experts. The majority of them had actually been fine with it previously. Their viewers connected with them immediately because of their heart. It felt more genuine than any staged drama as we witnessed dads and sons working together, old friendships being strained, tempers flaring, and moments of raw, hard-earned victory. New characters emerged as the show went on, and they all had their own distinct mining styles and challenges. Parker Schnabel has been a monumentally influential character on the program. Under the tutelage of his grandpa, John Schnabel, Parker began making appearances on the show when he was just 16 years old. A riveting reality TV storyline has been witnessing Parker's rise from adolescent newbie to Yukon's most successful young miner. He became known as the series' golden boy thanks to his dogged determination, serene intelligence, and no-nonsense leadership style. Someone who could appreciate the tedium without being scared to shake things up. Ness, who was unruly and unpolished, followed. He went from being a musician to a miner, and his blue-collar tenacity and determination won him many admirers. Rick has had a far from easy journey. He has faced financial difficulties, personal conflicts, and setbacks in front of millions of people. However, Rick never gave up. Whenever he was hit, he simply stood back up, dusted himself off, and continued fighting. His life exemplifies the tenacity that has always been important to the Gold Rush. We have witnessed Rick and his former boss Parker overcome obstacles and forge their own path in the Klondike season after season. A quest for wealth isn't the only thing that has kept Gold Rush fans coming back. The stakes are high emotionally. The fundamental drive to endure, adapt, and ultimately triumph over the harsh northern environment is deeply ingrained in human nature. Still, there's a real person, a family guy, a regretful soul, or someone with a point to prove behind every loader and wash plant problem. The show's themes changed over its run. It expanded beyond the mining industry. Problems with mental health, conflicts between fathers and sons, friendships strained or broken, and the reality of being alone for months on end were all things we witnessed. Witnessing the tragic death of John Schnabel was an agonizing experience for fans everywhere who were reminded that not even legends can escape the passage of time. And then there were the happy times, as when Parker hit record-breaking gold totals or when Rick finally struck a huge pace streak after years of slogging. This drama was about more than just relationships. Every day, miners confront terrible hardships, which give the show a grounded realist quality. Problems with machinery, severe weather, claims deluge, bureaucratic hoops to jump through, and rising operational expenses. Each and every one of those ounces of gold was worked for. Smarter, faster, and more strategically planned mining operations were required as rules became stricter and environmental standards became more complicated. In a field where a single misstep might wipe out an entire season, viewers witnessed firsthand how razor-thin the margin for error really is. In subsequent seasons, the dynamic between Parker Schnabel and Rick Ness has been one of the show's most captivating features. Their paths diverged when Rick went his own way after they were partners. The subsequent suspense gave the series a competitive edge and added emotional weight. Fans, however, have seen a more subtle shift in their dynamic as of late. Moments of mutual understanding no longer feel like rivalry, but rather the kinship of two survivors who have seen it all and continued digging. Mutual respect has returned. Viewers have stayed tuned in for every season, drawn in by the human stories as much as the gold totals. It could have been Hoffman wishing for a miracle, Parker planning his moves like a chess grandmaster, or Rick admitting his worries to the camera following yet another defeat. Somewhere beneath the Yukon dust has always been something very familiar. They are not performers. What makes the show so captivating is the fact that these are genuine individuals taking genuine risks. With the show's 16th season about to begin, the stakes couldn't be greater. The mining industry is experiencing a number of challenges, including stricter regulations, more expenses, more unpredictable climate conditions, and the threat of water license revocation, which might lead to the closure of operations for long-time stars like Rick Ness. The gold may still be below ground, but reaching it has never been more of a challenge and a metaphor for life in general. The precious metal in the bottom of the salt box has never been the exclusive focus of the gold rush. In a world that constantly tells you your dreams are too far away, it's about chasing after them nevertheless. It's all about taking that final shot with all your might. It's about perseverance, both in the face of adversity and in the face of triumph, and the value of friendships both lost and found. The exhibition will leave a lasting impression that goes beyond the millions of ounces of gold that were mined. With each scoop of ice, we will hear the tales of real people who battled for what was truly important to them, their families, their futures, and their position in the world. No matter how long you've been a fan of the show or have only just started watching, one thing is certain: Gold Rush is about so much more than just mining. Fighting for one's life is the theme of the show. The Gold Rush, a chronicle of the hit TV show that won our hearts. Fuku foresaw the revolution that Gold Rush would bring to reality TV and its dedicated viewers when it premiered on Discovery Channel in 2010. The network and the motley crew of miners took a chance, but the series ended up becoming one of the most popular and impactful of all time. History of television, more than just a gold mining show. There is an unending fight to transform dirt into money in Gold Rush, but there is also a story of hope, dreams, broken families, second chances, and determination. Gold Rush is really about individuals. Those who put themselves in harm's way. Houses, weddings, and life savings for a chance at something that might alter their course indefinitely. In the beginning, the seasons tracked Todd Hoffman's and the Greenhorn miners' journey to Alaska, where they were armed with borrowed gear and an optimistic goal. In other words, they weren't experts. The majority of them had never cared before, but now they were completely devoted, and the audience clicked with them immediately. We witnessed a father and son team working together. Rough, hard-won victories felt more genuine than any staged drama, and they stoked the flames of long-simmering animosity between friends. Fresh characters emerged throughout the course of the series, bringing with them their own distinct perspectives on mining as well as their own set of challenges. Parker Schnabel has been a monumentally influential character on the program. Under the tutelage of his grandpa, John Schnabel, Parker began making appearances on the show when he was just 16 years old. One of the most interesting real-life story arcs has been witnessing Parker's rise from adolescent rookie to prominent Yukon youth miner. Television, his dogged determination, serenity, wit, and no-nonsense attitude. He became known as the series' golden boy thanks to his leadership style. Someone who could appreciate the tedium without being scared to shake things up. Rick Ness, who was unruly and unpolished, followed.